Well, it is time now for Table Talks. We welcome in Jastremski and Chris Lopresti. Guys, on the assumptions that both of these guys decline these offers, JJ, how do you think David Stearns will handle the starting pitching staff next year?
So last year, Niki, if you go back to David Stearns' approach, which got roasted in the offseason by a whole lot of folks, so why aren't the Mets going all in? Why aren't the Mets going big game hunting after missing out on Yamamoto? They took a bunch of flyers, and let's call it like it is, they hit the jackpot. They got the most durable year out of Luis Severino that he's had since 2018. Sean Manaea was unreal in the second half of the season. So to me, I think you're going to see a combination of David Stearns trying to hit on some guys because, simply put, I think he's pretty confident that he's going to be able to do so. But I also think David Stearns wants to have a bona fide ace atop the rotation. Now, is that somebody joining Kodai Senga? I would counter with that being yes. Is that Corbin Burns? Is that Max Fried? We'll see. They have the resources to do it. I think one of these guys from last year comes back, and they're in the market for a big pitcher.
Yeah, I'm looking at one or both of the guys that we're talking about here that were with the Mets this past season because, you know, you already have the familiarity aspect there. You know that they seem to enjoy their time here. They were productive. I'm listening to Stearns in that clip there. I don't know if he's going to go for the big fish at the top of the rotation, even though I'm sure there's some temptation. There's an allure to that. But I definitely think that from a depth standpoint, they did very well this past season. There were times when it didn't look great. They got it together in the second half of the year. Right now, I don't really know what to expect out of Kodai Senga. 2024 was pretty much a lost season for him. They were obviously relying on him to be the guy at the top of the rotation. They survived without it. But I would think in this market, the way it's shaping up, I think it's deep enough where I don't know that they'll have to go and really overextend themselves as far as contracts go for one or both of these guys, or if it's another one that's available. But let's be honest, obviously we got to wait and see what shakes out with Juan Soto. I know that applies to all these teams that are interested in him, but once we find out what they may or may not be paying him, might be easier to answer the pitching question.
So speaking of one of the guys that they extended the offer to, Luis Severino, say he does not take this offer. CeeLo, what do you expect the market to be like for someone like him?
I don't know that it'll be overly robust because, again, I think that there's enough guys available this year where he's actually a little bit further down the list, even though for him, this is the most productive season we've seen from him in quite some time, both as far as his productivity when he was taking the ball and the fact that he pitched as many innings as he did, made as many starts as he did, sort of a 180 from how things ended with the Yankees. So from his standpoint, I can understand wanting to try and cash in and get a multi-year deal, but I don't know that it's going to be anything beyond 2, maybe 3 years. Decent money, but I'd be surprised if you've got a long line of people knocking at his door where he's going to be able to really capitalize on the open market.
So, I'm going to look at this from a Mets perspective with Severino. I'm A-OK if he wants to come back and take the qualifying offer.
For sure.
I agree.
I'm going to have a major problem, though, with the idea of giving Luis Severino a multi-year extension because I simply can't count on the durability that you got out of him last year. I couldn't believe Severino basically made it through the season unscathed, made it through the postseason unscathed. This is a guy who was hurt all the time with the Yankees. He wants to come back for 1 year. Great. A multi-year deal, that's what I'm saying. Sevy, appreciate what you did in 2024, but thanks for the memories.
Yeah, I don't know if I trust him for longer than a year either.